Hello and welcome to Wada Wonderful World. I am Monica Wada and today I'm celebrating 1 year on YouTube. And for this special occasion, and as promised, I made this rainbow cake completely with natural food coloring. I had posted a video of how to make natural food coloring, and the one that surprised me the most was the purple cabbage, which it turned into quite a nice blue color. And this one up here, which was supposed to be beetroot, it didn't come out so well as I expected. I think if I had added a little bit of strawberry and if I had diluted the beetroot as well, I think the color would have been more of the red color. Let's get started. Always before I bake a cake, I grease and line my tins with baking paper. I already had prepared some natural food coloring. This is very easy to make. I already have a video on my channel. I'll leave a link on the description below for you to have a look. It will also be really handy if you prepare them ahead of time. For the cake, you will need 4 eggs, 250 ml of oil and 2 cups of sugar, and mix that really well. Add 150 ml of milk and 3 cups of plain flour. Mix that quickly, but don't over mix. And this is just the way that I like to mix my cake. I stay there in the middle, and then when I need, I bring some of that flour from around of the bowl, and then I keep mixing in the middle, and I do find that I get a lot less lumps like this. I first weighed the whole mixture, and then I divided that in 3 separate bowls for the different colors. I only add the baking powder just before the cake goes in the oven, and because I need 3 teaspoons of baking powder, I add them separately into each different color. And this is important because as soon as the baking powder gets into contact with liquid, it already starts rising, and you want that to happen when the cake is in the oven. I melted my colors in the microwave for about 30 seconds, and as soon as everything was well mixed, I put it in the oven on 180 degrees Celsius. For the carrot cake, I put in the blender 1 carrot. Then I added 50 ml of milk, 80 ml of oil, and a 1/4 cup of sugar, and also 2 eggs. Blend everything until it's homogenized. In a mixing bowl with that carrot juice, add another 1/4 cup of sugar, 1 cup of sifted flour, and lastly a teaspoon of baking powder. I made the same recipe that I did for the first 3 cakes, but this time I mixed a little bit of this beetroot powder that I made. I dissolved it in water and I added it with the batter, and also decided to add a little bit of the dry powder, but it didn't really dissolve properly, so you have that little pieces of the raspberry through the cake. For my second batter, I added the cabbage juice. I also have a video on my channel showing how I did it. I'll leave a link on the description below. Because I thought the color was going purple, I decided to add a little bit more of that beetroot powder. I just got excited about it and I added on everything. But again, it didn't dissolve, and I got those speckles of beetroot powder in the cake. So for my third batter, or my 7th, because I thought my first one that I did with the raspberry didn't really work well with the color, I thought I would try again with more of that beetroot powder. And I remember why I did it, because I thought while it was cooking, the color was going to get darker for some reason, but it didn't. It didn't really, yeah, the color, again, it didn't dissolve in the cake. A lot of red speckles in the cake, but it was fine. So it's all about a trial and see what colors work together and which ones that work and how to get stronger. So just have to keep trying. As soon as you cut the top and the sides, you will see the colors much better. As you can see, I'm terrible at leveling cakes. I fill the cake with buttercream, so I have used 300 grams of unsalted butter. I first beat the butter until the butter is light and fluffy, so for about 5 minutes. Also, I sieve the icing sugar before I add that in with the butter. I divide the icing sugar in 2 batches, so I beat the first one for 5 minutes and then I add the second batch and I beat for another 5 minutes. After that, I have to check the consistency and see if I need to add some milk. So I normally add 2 to 3 tablespoons, but again, you need to check the consistency. And I also add half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. I didn't film this part, but every time that I make a cake, I drizzle with sugar syrup with equal parts of sugar and water. For watching. Let me know on the comments below if you have made this or if you have tried making natural food coloring with different veggies or different fruits. Bye!